Imagine it's just another busy Friday morning in Manila. November 24, 2000. Cars are honking, people are rushing to work. At the intersection of Zobel Roxas and South Super Highway, a well-known public relations guru, Salvador Dacer, better known as Bubby, sits in his Toyota Revo. His trusted driver, Emmanuel Corbito, is at the wheel. They're on their way to a meeting, just another day in their busy lives. But this day would be their last. In a shocking display of audacity, their car is intercepted in broad daylight. Men, later identified as police officers, force them into a separate vehicle and speed away. Just like that, in the middle of a bustling city, two men vanish without a trace. The city moves on, the traffic clears, but for the families of Dacer and Corbito, time stops. Their frantic search begins. Where could they be? Who would want to harm them? The questions were endless, but the answers were nowhere to be found. For months, an agonizing silence hung over the case. The families pleaded for information. The public speculated, but there was nothing. No ransom demand, no contact, just a deafening void where two lives used to be. The hope that they were alive and would one day return home began to fade with each passing day. The nation watched, holding its breath, as one of the most high-profile disappearances in recent memory deepened into a chilling mystery. Then, in April 2001, nearly 5 months later, a grim discovery was made. In a remote field in Indang, Cavite, investigators unearthed a shallow grave. What they found inside was horrifying. Charred bones, fragments of a watch, a ring, and dental records. The remains were so badly burned that visual identification was impossible. But forensics don't lie. Dental records confirmed the worst fears of two families. The remains belonged to Bubby Dacer and Emmanuel Corbito. The question was no longer where are they, but who did this, and why? As the investigation unfolded, the story took a dark and political turn. The perpetrators weren't common criminals. They were members of a now-defunct presidential task force, the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Task Force, or POCTAF. This wasn't a simple kidnapping for ransom. This was a calculated, state-sanctioned hit. The motive, it was alleged, was tied to Dacer's work as a publicist. He was known for handling sensitive political accounts and reportedly possessed a cache of confidential documents that could incriminate powerful figures, potentially even those in the highest echelons of government. The case exploded into a national scandal. Names of high-ranking police officials and politicians were dragged into the spotlight. Key figures in the PAOCTF, including Senior Superintendent Cesar Mancao II and Superintendent Glenn Dumlao, became central to the investigation. Another name that continuously surfaced was that of Senator Panfilo Lacson, who headed the PAOCTF at the time. He vehemently denied any involvement, but the shadow of suspicion loomed large. The case became a complex web of accusations, denials, and political maneuvering. Witnesses appeared, some recanted their testimonies, and key suspects fled the country, leading to years of international manhunts and extradition battles. Decades have now passed since that fateful November day. We have seen arrests, trials, convictions, and even acquittals. Some of the lower-ranking officers involved were found guilty. But the central question remains unanswered. Who was the ultimate mastermind? Who gave the final order to silence Bubby Dacer and his driver? The confidential documents that Dacer was rumored to possess have never been found. The full story, the ultimate truth behind this brutal crime, seems to have been buried along with the victims. Was it about politics? Was it about silencing a man who knew too much? The Dacer-Corbito double murder case remains a haunting reminder of how power can corrupt and how justice can remain elusive, leaving a permanent scar on the nation's history. The story of Bubby Dacer is a chilling puzzle where the most crucial pieces are still missing. If you're fascinated by unsolved mysteries and true crime stories that dig deep into the shadows, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll be bringing you more deep dives into cases that will leave you questioning everything. Thanks for watching.